So many moments.
So good.
Oh, it's so lovely watching you all watch those clips back. What happened to the stars of Footballers' Wives once the cameras stopped rolling?
We're joined now by Laila Rouass, who played Amber Gates, Susie Amy, who starred as Chardonnay, Gary Lucy, who was, of course, Chardonnay's footballer husband, Kyle, and Alison Newman, who was the club's no-nonsense chair.
The evil chair.
Someone has got to keep them in order. I mean, Laila, I watched the first one back, just because obviously you'd watched it back in the day, but I can't get away. I can't believe what you used to get away with.
I know.
The storylines.
It was crazy because we would get the scripts, wouldn't we? And look at them, read them, and phone up the producers, go, oh, we can't do this. We're never going to get away with this. And, of course, they didn't care. We'd just end up doing it. And it caused pandemonium. We'd be in the papers. And then, obviously, later you find out that we haven't even touched the sides of what the footballers are really up to. So it was quite tame, really.
Yeah. What about that episode where it was literally the baby and the fake tan?
Oh, remember that? Gosh, yeah, because she'd swapped the babies.
Yeah.
And obviously she's trying to get away with her baby being mine, and so she had to fake bake the baby so that it was my skin colour.
Tone.
And it was just hysterical. It's just madness. We had the best writers, though, didn't we?
Yeah.
They were just fantastic.
Yeah. There was always an amazing atmosphere because I interviewed you all over the years and you have Kat as well. But, Susie, I think it's those moments when we looked at that picture of you when you were doing your fashion of Chardonnay and the outfit that had been designed by the guy that designed Victoria Beckham's clothing, and, of course, she was the icon of all footballers' wives. It was just an amazing moment in time, wasn't it?
We were so lucky to have such a great costume designer. Her name's Sarah Arthur, and she had such a great vision because for the first season, she didn't have a huge budget. As the show progressed, people became more generous, but this was a brand new show. And she was so good at making these connections and really sourcing these, you know, that key piece for Victoria, how can we get the same one, and striking deals so that we did look like we were rich. I mean, that photo is funny, I've just said that one. I'm not sure. But obviously this was the early 2000s, so it was a very different time. And actually watching it back, you know, you obviously look in the mirror every day and you grow with yourself. But when you do, I don't ever watch the show back, which is sad. And at some stage, I probably should. I don't know if any of you have. But you look back and you think, goodness, that's such a long time ago. Everything looked so different, including...
It really did.
Yes.
But it was so glamorous and so exciting, and as Kat was saying, so extraordinary. You setting your boobs on fire, or Chardonnay setting her boobs on fire at the birthday party. I mean,
well, she didn't do it herself.
No. But they were set on fire.
They were.
I mean, that was amongst, I'm sure, some of your favourite storylines.
That one actually wasn't one of my favourite storylines, and that took days to film. I remember the build-up to the boobs getting set on fire, and then the scarring that had to be drawn on, but only for one season. Season 2, they decided the scarring was gone. Magic had healed.
As if by magic.
Yeah, some of the storylines were definitely more fun than others, and I preferred the more light-hearted storylines, and the ones that involved all of us, things like the christening. I really enjoyed all of us getting together, and I genuinely have such fond memories of our time.
I'm sure.
It really was something.
A lot of laughter.
Yeah.
Yes,
a lot of laughter.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. Gary, how on earth did you keep a straight face when you were going to the wedding on the back of the horse with the pirate hat, like, marching towards... like Chardonnay, who was lying in pink with Snow White's 7 dwarfs around her. How do you even keep straight faces?
Honestly, I mean, the scripts were out there, as you know, but when we got onto set, I didn't know anything about the horse. I mean, that wasn't in there. The horse was there. Can you ride a horse? Well, I'll try it, you know. And, yeah, it was just amazing. Honestly, we couldn't have been luckier than the gang that we had.
Really?
We were in this, like, mad, you know, world that... I remember watching the first episode, do you remember? And we all sat there with all the producers and they cut... We're just... I don't know what we've done here. It was so different you know, than anything else we've seen. And they're going, what do you think? We're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And you come from Hollyoaks as well, right? So you come from Hollyoaks where you'd got a slew of awards and everyone loved your character. And then suddenly you're on set with these guys riding ponies and, like, it couldn't have been more different and more extravagant.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it was just... You can't... There'll never be a job like it.
No, absolutely. And you'd get the scripts and you knew it was out there, and you just had to 100% commit to it.
Yeah.
And just absolutely play it for...
As if it was real.
As if you were doing something really
normal.
gritty, you know. And that's how we got away with it, I think.
She was just such an amazing character.
Amazing.
Just amazing.
We all loved Hazel Bailey.
Her and Zoe were just like...
Yes.
Yeah.
The ultimate,
So
Well, yeah, I mean,
iconic,
there would have been no Footballers' Wives without Zoe Lucker.
Yeah,
without
yeah.
Indeed.
who's a
And
dream to work
She had it
with.
all together backstage as well, didn't she?
Yeah.
You know, we used to have a
I think there's interesting, isn't it? Because you look at the success of Ted Lasso, which is all about a football club, and there's a chairperson at the top of which is Hannah Waddingham plays. Is there a little bit of Hazel in Hannah's character? Do you think of Ted Lasso?
Interestingly, Hannah Waddingham played Hazel's girlfriend for Hazel's exit story from the
In Footballers' Wives?
Yeah.
Did she really?
Now that is a great little bit of showbiz inside. I forgot that. That's amazing.
So, there we go.
And I think what you've said as well, I think, Alison, is that you think that Footballers' Wives has paved the way for more women to be on screen in drama.
No, absolutely. I mean, I got the job from doing Bad Girls, again, another huge female-led drama, and that was really new, that shows with women running the show, and great, more of that.
Yeah. What do you think was the secret of the success of the show, Laila? Do you think it was because we hadn't seen anything like that before here, and maybe we wanted something that was a bit more led from the US? You know,
I think the fact that it was glamorous, you've got these beautiful people. It was about the women, really, not about the footballers.
All right.
Sorry, Gary.
He was fairly nifty. He was fairly nifty at the football.
He was a great footballer. having played with him.
Character development was great, and just getting the right cast, it was such a dream. Everyone knew what they had to do when they went on set. They knew their characters. We knew it was fun, but like Alison said, you had to commit to it. In Footballers' Wives land, it's completely normal. This happens all the time, and you had to play it like that.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, people just wanted a change, didn't they? They just
It was
wanted...
very different. I guess, Susie, as well, there was a lot of argy-bargy. You all had to, when you're talking about committing, you all had to commit. The number of different occasions that ended up with a fight, whether it was the players fighting, the wives fighting, the girlfriends fighting, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Well, I loved all that.
Yeah.
That was what I wanted to see in the scripts. You know, forgetting all the tragic events, I liked all of the real drama, and they just delivered it. And I felt that this era that Footballers' Wives came out was a very grey time on TV, and this brought some colour back. This was before Towie. I know their reality shows and the Housewives series, but a lot of that came off the back of realising people had an appetite for something a little bit more colourful on TV.
Bit of escapism.
Well, the ultimate guilty pleasure.
Absolutely.
You know,
And you do these cat fights, and by the end of it, there'd be like a hair extension there, a few false nails over there. It was just hysterical, madness.
And what about a reboot, Gary? We've seen lots of series come back and have another little go at it. Could you see it coming back?
I think it would go down a storm, to be honest. I think they might have the compliance, getting it actually on screen might take another 10 years. You know what it's like now.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be something refreshing. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be able to play a footballer, sadly.
But you could be the coach, you could be the gnarly coach on the touchline.
Yeah, but, you know, those days are behind me now, unfortunately.
All of us.
I mean, look, it was just refreshing, you know. I think that's the thing. You could watch it, people loved it, but it was escapism. You know, you'd all watch it and just forget about all the nonsense that's actually going on in real life, you know?
I like that line, though, as you said. Everything was a bit drab back then, and suddenly there was this explosion of colour.
We always filmed it in the summer, and we got lucky with the weather, right?
Yeah, we
and they put it out in January, February, when everyone was
perfect timing.
indoors like that. It just lifted everyone.
Yeah.
And we have another member of the cast with us as well, Ken, who is our photographer, who does all the photographs across all the daytime shows. Ken was the star of the show for you guys as well, wasn't he?
We love Ken.
I'm a bit gutted because I thought you were going to roll out Zoe Lucker there.
So look, here's Ken. There's you, Ken.
All right, darling.
If you rub yourself up against me one more time.
He's not changed either.
No, not at all.
No, he looks great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you so much.
It's been lovely to reminisce.
For having us.
Yeah, you can watch all episodes of Footballers' Wives on ITVX. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.